Welcome to the Beyond Macros podcast, nutrition secrets to look, feel, and perform your best. On this episode, what we're going to talk about is how you can stop guessing on your nutrition and get some actionable data points that allow you to progress, make adjustments, make changes, and work towards your goals. So, really, how I want to break this down is in three phases: what, why, and how. What, why, and how. So in the what phase, it's going to be what am I going to be talking about? In the why section, it's going to be like, why does this matter? And then in the how, this is going to be actionable steps that you can take to immediately start progressing forward. So what I want to talk about is essentially tracking your macros and why I find it to be the best use of your time and the quickest and most effective way to see results. So essentially, if you're trying to do intuitive eating, if you don't have an awareness of where you're at, we really need to get you to stop just relying on healthy eating and start actually progressing through understanding what your meal choices are, taking a measurable and strategic approach instead of just eating healthy. So we're going to do that by tracking your macronutrients. That's your proteins, your carbs, and your fats. So really is going to be goal dependent on where you need to fall. That's not what this episode is going to be about. This episode is going to be about the actionable goal of starting to track. We'll talk about what that can look like, what numbers you need to be hitting in future episodes. So why does this matter? Why is this something that can be effective for you? Uh, so basically, when you take the guesswork out, you're going to eliminate plateaus, going to eliminate frustrations, going to eliminate inconsistent results, and you're going to have several advantages. You're going to have clarity in your consumption. So you're going to know exactly how much food your body needs to be eating to fuel your goals, whether that's fat loss, muscle gain, or performance enhancements like a lot of my clients have. There's not going to be any guessing if you're under or overeating. You're going to know exactly what you are eating. By tracking your macros, it gives you the flexibility. So that's number two, gives you flexibility without guilt. So unlike restrictive diets that are going to cut entire food groups, that are going to put you on a time restrictive eating window, macro tracking allows you to enjoy the foods you love while still staying on track. Really, what it boils down to is it's about balance, not elimination. Then we're going to be able to have personalized adjustments. So your needs aren't static. Your needs aren't the same as my needs. My needs aren't the same as the next person's needs. So macro tracking allows you to adapt based on your progress, based on your activity levels, based on your goals as they change, based on the season that you are in. And by season, I mean, what are you currently training for at this exact moment? Are you in the preseason? Do you have, say, a marathon coming up that's 16 weeks away? Or do you have a marathon coming up that's 4 weeks away? So personalized adjustments. We're also going to be able to improve performance here. So a lot of my clients, I'd say probably 80, 90% of them really care about performance. And when we track our macros, we can do things around training, even in a fat loss phase, to still focus on hitting our goals. We can have the right balance of carbs and fats to give us the energy that we need. We can have our protein at a certain level to support recovery, support muscle building. And we can adjust our fats as needed so that we can support hormone health. It really allows you to get that flexibility to still increase your performance no matter if your goals are fat loss or not. And then lastly, when we rely on something just like clean eating, or even if we count calories, but we don't count our full macros, which some of my clients do, we're not necessarily focused enough on the performance aspect or the recovery aspect. So if we're just worried about calories, we're not worried about protein. If we're just worried about calories, we're not worried about the carbs that are going to be fueling our performance. So tracking isolates these issues that we might have, and then we can address them as needed. So how? The action steps that we can take. Step one, we're going to download a food tracking app. A couple of my favorites are Macros First and Chronometer. Chronometer, I never know how to say that one. MyFitnessPal used to be the GOAT here. They paywalled a lot of their stuff. That just means they make you pay for it now. Macros First and Chronometer don't make you pay for something like the barcode scanner. So I really enjoy that. I personally like macros first. I'd say chronometer, whatever it's called, however you say it, is probably the more popular app. I just like macros first. They do some cool stuff that I really enjoy. So once you download that app, you're going to calculate your daily calorie. And actually, take a step back. Before we do that, we're going to track for 3 days. So you're going to track your intake for 3 days. You're going to see where you're at. Next, we're going to calculate your daily calorie and macro needs using a reliable calculator. So just go on the internet, use any calculator. I'm not going to plug mine here. If you want mine, just reach out to me. Tell me you want mine. I'll get it to you. Um, Use any reliable calculator on the internet. It'll tell you just about what you need to be eating. It won't be perfect, but it'll get you there. So then you're going to compare what you did eat in the tracking phase to what this calculator is telling you you should be eating. Then you're going to use that data to identify any patterns. Are you low on protein? Are you not even eating half your body weight per se in grams of protein? Are you eating like no carbohydrates? Are you eating like 30 grams of fat a day? Identify your deficiencies so then you can adjust them. Again, we'll go into this in more detail in a future episode. Then as you go, as your goals change, as your seasons change, you're going to adapt those goals. You're going to adapt those targets rather based on your goals. You're going to repeat check-ins weekly, every 2 weeks, and refine it as you go. The guesswork is gone. You're done spinning your wheels and you can start progressing effectively towards your goals. So stay tuned for future episodes. I dive deep into what exactly your days can look like. We'll break down your calories, we'll break down your proteins, carbs, and fats. So subscribe so you don't miss out.